This is a video about Lazarbeam's game. It's an update, because I freaking already reacted to this guy make a video about Lazarbeam's game at one point. Huge gaming YouTuber drama, dude. Just say Steven made a video about how this game was a freaking overpromised and underdelivered pseudo scam. Not quite a scam because it's a free-to-play game, but maybe people fundraised it. I don't really remember, but this is an update almost a year later. Lazarbeam's game has nothing left by the same guy.
Lazarbeam's game has nothing left. On paper, it looked like World Boss could have been a massive success since you had two of the biggest...
Oh yeah, that's what the game's called, World Boss, and it was kind of like a Fortnite looking thing. It looked more like one of those Nerf gun games. It looked kind of stripped down. Shitty Fortnite YouTubers getting together to make a game that some were even calling the Fortnite killer. But if you look at the state of the game right now, World Boss is a full-on display of how subscriber count doesn't matter. The amount of influence you have online doesn't matter. You can promote something to millions of viewers and still get to watch it crash and burn. And for the longest time, we sort of had this illusion that views and subscribers automatically equaled success. That if you had an audience and you're bringing enough hype, you could make just about anything work. But World Boss itself is a pretty grim reminder that number one, game development is a completely different beast when compared to something like selling merch or selling energy drinks, you know? Figuring out what the winning formula is for a live service game is extremely difficult. And number two, YouTuber hype just isn't enough. It can get people into the door because I'm sure a lot of you guys have at least heard of World Boss, but if the game isn't built to last... I've never heard of this game outside of seeing the first video and this video after it, so...
If it doesn't have the headroom to keep...
Where did they come up with that name? It sounds like a cooking show or something.
Growing as a live service experience.
I don't want to be the boss of the world. I don't want to be the damn president. I want to play CSGO Lego version or whatever the fuck this is.
We're gonna forget about it and move on pretty quickly. So World Boss is the perfect example of hindsight being 2020.
Is this actually on Steam? Can I show Steam without goddamn simulator popping up or something? I play it all the time, so... Mixed reviews. It's the World Boss Steam page. I'm gonna freaking slap this into my library, and we'll be checking that out after this.
Because maybe Lazarbeam and Fresh couldn't see it at the time, maybe the people over at Playside Studios couldn't see it either, but anybody that looks at the game now can see that perfect example of hindsight being 2020, because maybe Lazarbeam and Fresh couldn't see it at the time, maybe
These guys, Playside, made Dumb Ways Free for All? Oh, that's the VR version. I haven't played that. Oh, they also did Survive. Okay. So some of them modern ones and maybe some of the updates for the old one. Interesting.
People over at Playside Studios couldn't see it either, but anybody that looks at the game now can see that from day one, World Boss was a ticking time bomb that actually went off pretty quickly. And I'm not saying this to try to put Lazarbeam on the spot. I'm not trying to grill him for taking a risk and putting something out there for people to enjoy, because I don't think that this was your typical case of a YouTuber product that was just made to be a shill or a cash grab, you know? I know a lot of people like to call World Boss a cash grab.
I mean, it is a free game, so... I'm about to play it, not give him any cash, and not grab nothing from me, I hope.
That Lazarbeam and Fresh were just collecting a fat check to promote the game because of how the early access and the monetization was handled at first. It did feel kind of weird at the time, I will admit, and we'll get into that. But I'm pretty sure that overall, Lazarbeam and Fresh at least had good intentions when they wanted to partner up and release World Boss. It's just that so many things went wrong with the game from the get-go that it was just a disaster waiting to happen. So the last time I actually got the chance to play and talked about this game was about 1 year ago, and I mainly covered all the core issues of the game itself and what drove the players away. But recently, since we saw that Midnight Society was shut down, which was Dr. Disrespect's game studio that was working on the very
rest in peace
extraction shooter Dead Drop, and we also saw another
I guess I shouldn't say that about the studio, but him.
Streamer Shroud recently partner up with
he didn't die, so rip the studio.
To release the tactical shooter Spectre Divide. Well, I wanted to go back and check on how World Boss was doing, what sort of updates have they done, and see if there's anything left for a potential comeback. But just for quick context, if you've never heard about World Boss before, World Boss was a casual arena shooter that was made by Lazarbeam and Fresh, and the core gameplay was super simple. You know, you just jump into a lobby, you get kills to level up, and as you level up, you unlock different weapons and perks to build out your character, and the whole goal of the game was to climb the in-game leaderboard so that way you could become the lobby's World Boss. And once you got the World Boss status, you got a massive HP buff out of it, you got a crown that basically puts a target on your back for other players to team up against you, and the entire goal for you is to corrupt different sectors of the map to shut down the lobby and basically win the game. So it was a pretty bare bones multiplayer experience that leaned pretty heavily into the IO genre, and if you've played any other type of IO game before, then you know it's basically the same concept. So the gameplay loop was supposed to be fast, casual, and mindless, where you just pop in real quick, play for a few rounds, and then you just quit, you know? It wasn't trying to be some sort of grandiose Fortnite level adventure with deep lore and world building or anything like that, but at the same time, that also meant that the players didn't really have an incentive to stick around and play World Boss over the long run. Overall, the game really didn't impress anybody when it first came out. World Boss released in a completely unfinished state, and I'm not trying to be mean here, but it was more broken than your typical EA launch. A lot of the features in the main menu and the UI just had placeholder PNGs instead of characters with smooth animations. The servers were super unstable and made the game borderline unplayable a lot of the times because you would get disconnected multiple times per hour, and if you were getting close to that #1 spot on the leaderboard, I gotta say, you know, it was pretty frustrating to get disconnected from the server and lose all of your progress. And before the game's official release, the whole server corruption aspect of the gameplay that acted like a win condition for the World Boss wasn't even there to begin with. So what people would do is that they would just grind all the way to the top spot, they would just get the World Boss status with the HP buff, and just hog it for as long as possible until they either prestige back to level 1, or they just get bored and leave the game. Because there really wasn't a win condition in early access, so instead of everybody teaming up to take down the World Boss, people would just avoid fighting the World Boss altogether and just keep fighting amongst themselves to level up. Now, all of that is fine and dandy.
I mean, it sounds like kind of a cool, I guess, idea. I like those simple, stupid IO games.
Since it was just an early access game, you know, although I suppose I can call it more of a glorified beta test than anything else, but what really pissed off the community was how the monetization system was handled, because despite the fact that the game launched in a broken and unfinished state, it had full-on microtransactions on day one. The item shop worked perfectly on release, and shortly after launch, you also got the Fresh and Lazarbeam cosmetic packs too. And you know, to a degree, I get it, because monetization is just an important part for a free-to-play game, but I also think that World Boss released a little too early and with way too many core game issues on day one, to the point where microtransactions right off the gate made it feel more like a cash grab than anything else. And if you thought that the in-game issues were the only thing that were wrong with World Boss, then you're in for a big surprise, because what was happening behind the scenes was also a nightmare situation. Like, for example, one of the faces of the game, Fresh, quit making YouTube videos shortly after World Boss release to try to get into doing cryptocurrency and NFTs. And the only marketing that was done for this game that I could find online, apart from like the main World Boss official channels, was one video on Lazarbeam's channel, one video on Fresh's channel, a collab on Lachlan's channel, and a clip on Logan Paul's podcast. That was it. And with World Boss being a Steam-only release with no crossplay enabled, caused it to have one of the worst launches of a free-to-play live service game, and after a few updates here and there that fixed all the problems that I mentioned earlier, Lazarbeam just stopped talking about World Boss entirely, like if it never existed in the first place. I've always had this opinion that
it's probably because it was getting like highly criticized and you just got annoyed about it or stressed out about it and just didn't want to do it anymore, maybe.
World Boss would perform extremely well on a platform that's meant for casual gameplay. Like if it was an experience on Roblox or a Fortnite game mode where the players are already going in with the expectation of playing something that's shallow. But the fact that World Boss released on a dark little corner of the Steam library with no console or mobile release or anything really meant that the game would have
especially mobile, I feel. That is the most important platform for you to release this. But let's see what this World Boss situation's looking like. It looks like it's about done.
No organic discovery whatsoever. And every player that downloaded World Boss most likely only did it because they heard about it from Lazarbeam and Fresh, and since they didn't really market the game as hard, that's why the game failed. Now, getting back into World Boss in 2025, honestly, I was just not expecting it how easy it'd be to just jump in and start having fun with the game. Like, if you just keep in mind that this is a simple IO game and you set your expectations down to that level, it's honestly hard to hate it because the core gameplay is still pretty smooth. It's fast and fun, and there's so many different types of items, abilities, and perks, so there's a lot of variability when it comes to playing the game. And
alright, let me freaking see this shit. Let me in, coach! Let me see how easy and accessible it is. Take a walk on the play side. Quick, play. Lazarbeam. You look like a gingerbread man. Alright, what's the big idea? Where are we dropping, boys? Do you guys watch Lazarbeam? That guy fell off. Oh shit. I just watched a whole documentary about it. Probably can't even slide. No! He popped me! How did he do that? He's a goat. He used to goat it on the dicks guy. Imagine being that.
World Boss incoming!
What the fuck? I mean, go off, King. You're the king, not me. Hey man, you're the king. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy, dude. Just a normal guy. So normal. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Where are all the people? Reload! Where'd he go? Damn it! Oh! Dude. You're telling me I'm just missing every shot? What was that? Got his ass! I felt good. Now I understand. Alt to show upgrades. What the hell are you talking about? I'm at war, soldier! Yeah, let me get that one. I hear you, but I don't see you. Hear you, but I don't see you. Fuck's going on here? Should have never smoked that shit. Now I'm in not Fortnite. Look at these damn squids. Got his ass! I'm the world boss reaper. Fuck. Brother. Are you the boss of this world? Can I switch weapons? Apparently not. That's alright. It's really not. Oh shit, hello. Yeah, that's mine. Spray it up the fucking crib! Got his ass, alright. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Woo! Alright. Stop it. What are you saying to me? Hello? Who's there? Fuck you. I'm going. I don't know what the fuck they're yet. Oh no! That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted, Loomis. That's not what I had planned, Loomis. I'm finna get corrupted. Finna get corrupted on. Get corrupted, bitch. Are you? What does that even mean? I gotta walk all the way back. If I'm lucky. With the laser beam? I have a Q attack? Hold on. How do I get over there? God damn it. I'm lost. Damn it! Must have been the CEO of this game. It's the only explanation. Is that all? This guy wants me to stop the world boss. Damn it. I got deleted. Damn. I died though. Interesting. Very interesting. I kind of like this. Oops, fuck. I was gonna say I kind of like this upgrade system, but I also kind of don't because it's weird. I died. Because I can't reach the alt button. God damn it. Who's there? Skelly Bob Bone Pants. Zapped. 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 Does this just go on forever? I feel like it might. Get blasted. Yeah, get blasted. Damn it. Alright, I'm done. That was kind of fun. Now I have more perspective.
You can either go try hard with the rocket launcher and the laser beam, just like everybody else, or you can mess around with some of the regular weapons, like
assault world boss
rifles and snipers. So if you go ahead and compare World Boss to Fortnite, well, obviously you're going to be disappointed. But if you compare it to any other Roblox arena shooter, for example, then World Boss is clearly the better game. I gotta say that one of the things that this game does really well is the rush that you feel when you're the World Boss corrupting the sectors, and you have what seems like an endless wave of enemies coming at you. You know, you're trying to not only defend the point to corrupt it, but you're also trying to stay alive. And sure, you know, you might have a crap ton of health, and maybe dealing with 1 or 2 enemies isn't a problem, but when the entire lobby is in your face, it can get pretty intense. But at the same time, it sucks really badly when you're leveling up and you have a good build going on, but then suddenly someone else becomes the world boss, and for some reason, no one in the lobby is trying to stop them from shutting down the sectors, and you just end up losing all of your progress pretty fast. It's pretty clear that the lobbies are running solely on bots, because if you look at the Steam chart, if you look at the concurrent players, obviously those numbers are catastrophic. And a lot of the times you just see that
most of these like IO games sort of thrive off the fact that it can be bots, and it's kind of the same shit.
I'm doing nonsensical behavior inside of the game.
I will say it's kind of cool that you just play like a never-ending game that just keeps going and going. You don't have to like restart. I mean, it makes it kind of different than like Counter-Strike and other shooters.
As soon as you turn into the world boss, it's like they're all laser focused.
That being said, will I ever play this again? Probably not.
On you. Now, in terms of monetization inside of the game, they clearly made it a lot more player-friendly versus early access. I'm assuming because they already knew the game was gonna die anyways, but they removed the battle pass system from the game, and now they have a rotating item shop with a currency that you can get for free just by doing the daily and the weekly quests. So that is a welcome change. You can always just buy the currency, even though I don't think anybody's gonna do that, but the Lazarbeam and Fresh packs, you still have to outright buy them. I also went to the Steam page when I was re-downloading the game, and I checked the update history to see what the developers have been up to, what they've been working working on, but unfortunately I saw that the last time that the developer sent out an update was on July 26, 2023. Their X account hasn't posted since September 22nd.
Dead game.
Into 2023, and also their support link that's inside of the game just redirects you to a dead website, so it's safe to say that World Boss is just waiting to be put out of its misery at this point. Surprisingly enough, when I jumped into the Discord server, I saw that people are still active there for some reason, but it's mostly people talking about how dead the game is, or they're just proud to show off that they're one of the few people that are still playing the game. So to answer the question whether World Boss has the potential to make a comeback or not, I'll say it once and I'll keep saying it. World Boss is a fundamentally good game, with good mechanics, good gameplay, but people are just not interested in playing it on a dark and lonely corner of the Steam library. I'm sure that when the game released and the developers saw that they only managed to pull in about 1,000 players, despite their promo videos getting millions of views, Lazarbeam and Fresh and Playside Studios knew that this just wasn't gonna go anywhere, and they just abandoned it shortly after. But that's just the nature of live service games at the end of the day. If you
yeah, it's kind of depressing, but freaking I imagine this is what he's about to say, but that's just how games go these days, because they're freaking kept up for as long as they're profitable, and then as soon as they're not, they shut it all down. And even companies like EA or whatever will go as far as to freaking chase down and shut down people hosting their own servers to keep the game alive, dude. Shout out Just Say Steven. This was a good update video on the World Boss situation.